Code Sprint is a continuation of what we've been doing since last year as a ministry, looking at where the talent is, what kind of products they're developing, and also to see where the gaps are. So as part of our capacity building exercises. Some of you may remember that there was a hackathon late last year where there were 8 teams, and this is a continuation of that work. Just for your information, there's going to be another hackathon in November. So these are the steps in that direction. What's the difference between the two? The hackathon is a 48-hour marathon. From the time you start to the time you finish, there's no sleep. The code sprint is slightly different. You have from this afternoon until the end of DevX to develop the application. On the 27th? Sorry, yes, it is June the 27th of August. Well, what that means is 2 things. It means that you have more time to do your research and and meet the requirements. Also gives us the panel of judges to spend more time with your application, which you wouldn't have during a hackathon. So it's more focus, it's more things, and chances are our standards may be a little more exacting because of the 3-week period that you have versus the 48 hours that you have. All right. What I'll do now is I'll ask Eldon to make a few remarks about the code sprint and a bit about DevX and the genesis or the nexus between the two. Eldon?
Thank you, Mr. Hines. Eldon Marks, for those of you who don't know me, I am you can call me the lead on the DevX initiative, and I am a former beneficiary from the 2016 hackathon that the ministry held last year. My team and I took first place, and ever since then we've been inspired to open up and create similar platforms, and DevX is such an initiative. So we're very thrilled to work with the ministry on this particular initiative, and we hope that the beneficiaries from this particular code sprint can pay it forward in a similar manner that we did. So I believe that Mr. Hines may have covered much of the details of the code sprint, and the requirements are about to be handed out, and I'm sure you'll have more questions on that. The only thing I'd like to add is that the submission date on the 27th will be followed by the presentations. So you'll have an opportunity to present your work on the 30th, I think, based on the DevX calendar. So you'll be presented the 29th. So this keeps shifting around. I think we have the 30th, 29th. So you'll be presenting your work to a panel of judges, of course. Hopefully we can be on that panel as well. No, all right, so that's pretty much it. Again, very excited to be collaborating with the ministry. Very excited to see how many developers came out as participants of the code sprint. So good luck to you all.
Also to say to you that you're not only pitching before the judges, you're pitching before any potential investor or potential client, because all of this is going to be streamed live. It's going to be over all over social media and further afield. So think while you're pitching before the judges, it's important to understand that you're also pitching to a wider audience. So who knows, somebody might see something that you like and call you the following morning and say, well, could we talk about partnering with you or buying your product or what have you. So all of that are possibilities coming out of events such as these. Some basic information, I think the information about the prizes, that's already out. The first prize is $300,000, the second prize is $200,000, and the third prize is $150,000. So there will be prizes. What I should say to you is that what we are working on while you're competing in the code sprint is the first prize winner. We will sit down with them as part of the second phase, and we will see what kind of support we can give to the product to be able to bring it to market, or see whether, for example, a local agency might be able to use it. So that is also part of it. One of the things that we do is that when we choose the products that you will compete for, it is to make sure that that product could be of some use somewhere in the sectors, whether it is in the government sector, health, education, whether it is in the social sectors, helping with some of the other problems that we have, or whether it's in the productive sectors, right? So one of the things that we will try to do, and the team is working on, is to see how we can help you finish that product. We don't expect you to have a complete product at the end of that time, but so we are working on that now. We'll announce that later on, probably on the day itself, when we're actually doing the pitches and we look at the work that's done, we'll announce it then, because that is something that's a work in progress. Okay? All right. I'm happy to report as well that there are, looks like 14 teams who have signed up for this. The last time it was 8, so it's now 14. So we look forward to the point where we get to 20 and 25 and those types of things. So this is certainly a good sign in terms of the amount of participants that they hear.
At first, I was a bit nervous because I'm in a room filled with all these people, and the criteria that's concerning the code sprint, I was a bit surprised at it because I know agriculture is something main in Guyana that we deal, and the whole thing about it is bridging the gap between our buyers and sellers, and this is on, well, as people might say, magic, but on a technological aspect. Okay.
All right, good. So your team name is Mega Girls, so I assume it's a team of all women. Am I right?
And the name came about, well, we actually had our robotics competition a while ago in Washington, D.C., and the name of our bot was Megatherium. So I combined Mega with the girls to get the Mega Girls. We actually had some girls on this robotics team, but they weren't seen. Only a few of them were. So that's how the team Mega Girls came about. But right now my team member is not here, so I'm representing as a team leader for them.
So how does it feel being a woman in tech, especially with the industry being mostly male-dominated, and not only in Guyana, but worldwide?
Well, this is a question everybody normally asks me. They ask me if I feel intimidated. Well, for me, I don't. I find myself not only being a woman, but technology doesn't have a face as man or woman. Everybody has a part in it, and we can showcase what we got, whether the gender.
So what do you plan to do to get more girls into technology?
Well, what I plan to do? Well, I plan to go around to the different schools that, well, we know a lot of schools have small populations of girls and some have most. So I would like to go around and have a talk with them, try to motivate them on, well, I'm in the field of computer science. I want to tell them more about that field I'm in, because when a lot of girls hear computer science, they normally say, wait, this is programming, right? And they are automatically shut down. They want nothing to do with programming. But I want to enlighten them and tell them that programming is fun, and it's not only a part where males can take over, we can take over too.
Team Inosis, one of Guyana's, a sub-part of one of Guyana's largest software company right now, yes.
So the launch just happened. How do you feel about it?
I think it's a pretty good, first of all, it's a pretty good initiative by Version 75 and DevX, and to see the ministry backing an IT-based exhibition and the competition is really does a lot for ICT in Guyana. So I feel really excited. It's a very, not tough solution, but very challenging to make sure that you can, come out on top when everyone else is doing the same thing.
So you've heard the problem, you've heard the requirements. So can you tell me, I know you guys haven't had a chance to talk about it yet or anything, but what in your mind, how do you plan to tackle this?
Well, the first thing we need to understand, anytime you're developing software, from how we do it at Inosis, which is most likely the industry standard, is that we need to understand how it is currently being done right now, the manual, inefficient process of buying and selling agricultural products. So that's what we'll start out by doing, finding out the requirements of the requirements, so to speak. And then from there, we're going to know the facts and how actual farmers and actual buyers want to see software be delivered to them. So that's what we'll be setting out to do in the next coming days.
I am excited, really excited for this initiative. I'm actually glad that they're looking into the Guyanese local tech. This is something big for us, as in all these people in the tech industry.
Okay, great. So, so tell me, now that you've heard the requirements, you've heard the problem. So, what do you guys plan to do to address it, and what plans do you have in the development of this application?
Well, we didn't actually brainstorm anything as yet, but for a while we were actually thinking about these farmers. So it's actually something on our minds already. So I don't think it would be hard for us to pull something through because it's already there. We just need to pull it together and get it